They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equals. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I know you don't
Subscribe.
I know this, but I'm gonna get you
Subscribe
today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
What up, fam? It's your boy DTLF back with another Phone Call Fridays, man. We are officially back. All right, every Friday from here to the end of the season and beyond. Phone Call Fridays, man. You guys will have your chance to call in, tap in. Today we got a special episode because it's the Woj episode, man. As you guys may or may not have heard, my man Wojnarowski has officially stepped down to become a GM of his alma mater. So at the age of 55, I guess you could say, and this is what they're saying on the streets, is that LeBron outlasted Wojnarowski, which is something I never thought I'd see. But good to see you, Kimiko, Solitary. Appreciate y'all, man. Mixtape, what up, brother? And Prince, we're here, man. And this is a special episode again in memory of this man right here over my left or right shoulder. Depends on what angle you're looking at. I wanted to do this episode not on the trades that he has announced, but on the ones that he didn't, okay? Because in history of basketball, there have been some insane trades that never actually went down. A lot of Laker trades and some from other teams. So I'm going to break down those historic trades. And then after I'm done breaking those down, I will open up the phone lines. And stay tuned to the end because after I open up the phone lines and everything, I'm going to do a prize picks entry for Sunday football games. All right. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right. But let's start off, man, with trades that the blockbuster NBA trades that never materialized, that could have been game changers. All right. And we're going to start with an old school trade. And of course, I got to start with my Lakers. Charles Barkley to LA. Now, I'm not sure if you guys ever knew this, but apparently Charles Barkley to the Lakers almost materialized. And it would have been insane if it did, because here we have it. All right, and this was the trade. So apparently the Lakers would have received Charles Barkley and Ron Anderson. The 76ers would have received James Worthy and Eldon Campbell. Okay, that's the trade right there. And that's an insane trade because Charles Barkley would have been a Laker instead of my main man, James Worthy. Now, I truly believe that this trade right here, I believe that if it would have went down, I don't think Charles Barkley would have had the career he did towards the end. Maybe he would have, ended up with a championship at some point. But I believe those were the rebuilding years, through the Magic era. Like, I wasn't watching basketball then. I was barely born. I was 2 years old. But I believe those were the Laker rebuild years. And if Charles Barkley would have been a Laker, who knows what would have happened in his career towards the end of his career. But it would have been insane to watch, man. And maybe this explains why Charles is always so salty when it comes to, talking about the Lakers. Maybe the fact that that trade never fell through is something that really irritates Sir Charles, man. So this is what he said, all right? So he says, and I quote, "So I get a call from my agent one morning, and he said, Philly has traded you to the Lakers," he told Sports Illustrated. He continues the quote by saying, "So I went to lunch and started drinking." He said, "I'm so freaking excited that I'm going to the Lakers. 3 hours later, I get a fucking phone call from my agent that says the 76ers backed out of the deal. I said, oh, shit, I'm feeling pretty good right now. So I went out and played that night." End quote. So that really happened, fam. Like, this man was traded to the Lakers for a split moment, and it's really insane because he could have been a Laker and the Sixers backed out. That's a common occurrence that happens in a lot of trades. So there is that. But what do you guys think of that? Like, I think that's insane. And by the way, we got a super chat.
Oh my God! Wow!
Appreciate you, Jose. He says, "Yo, Dan, thoughts on Prime sponsor, which is the most disappointing sponsorship, man. Body Armor has Kobe's purple and gold on it." I personally don't drink Prime. I can't really, however the Lakers got to pay the bills, that's on them. But me personally, if they would have offered it to me, I would have turned it down because I'm not a Prime drinker. Plus, I've heard some really, negative things about that drink. So, yeah, the Prime is not for me. So, yeah, I don't really like the Prime drink. Do you guys like the Prime drink? That's a great question. And I do appreciate the super chat, my friend. Much appreciated. But yeah, for me, that drink is just not it, bro. I 110% agree. It's a disappointing sponsor, especially by Lakers standards. All right, let's move on to the next trade. Now, this is not Laker related, but Scottie Pippen to Seattle almost happened in 1994, and the Sonics would have received Scottie Pippen while the Bulls would have received Shawn Kemp. That is an insane trade, fam, right there, right off the top. Listen, I believe this was in between the time that Jordan retired and came back. Says here, after trading Scottie Pippen for Olden Polynice on the draft night in 1987, the Sonics almost lured Pippen back 7 years later. The proposed trade, which would have been straight up swapped for Shawn Kemp, was discussed during Jordan's first retirement and had a monumental future implications. It says the main one being that had Chicago shipped Pippen out of town, MJ might have never returned for his second three-peat with the Bulls. That is insane. So some of these trades would have had insane implications. I got a lot more. I got some modern day ones too that is going to blow your guys' socks off, man. But this one would have been insane. Can you guys imagine Scottie Pippen with the Seattle Supersonics? And what would have Jordan done had he came back? Because he came back basically essentially as a free agent, right? After retiring. So that is insane, man. Again, some of these trades never happened. Shout out to Woj for reporting the ones that did, but some of these trades, were just would have been out of left field. I don't think anybody would have expected them. That's the beauty of a trade. I think we all get excited around the trade deadline because you just never know what could happen. I mean, Pau Gasol came out of left field. Do you guys remember when Pau Gasol happened to the Lakers? It was just so random. There were very few to no rumors about Pau Gasol getting traded to the Lakers. There was a rumor that Pau Gasol might get dealt, but the Lakers' name hadn't really popped up. And, of course, Jerry West was involved. So that was insane, man. Thanks again for Super Chat, my guy. He said, Dan, good evening. How are you feeling for this upcoming season? The first time in my life when I don't feel good about this season, tired of the mediocre basketball. Well, I'm going to open up the phone lines, man. You guys could definitely, if you guys want to hop on, that'd be great, man. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. But I won't take calls till I'm done with the topic. But still, you guys could definitely wait in the lobby, in the wait section. Just click the link. It is Phone Call Friday. So if you guys want to chime off on that, look, Roy, I'm excited regardless. I think we have a lot of things to look forward to, brother. As far as your question goes, I'm always excited every season. Even when we had the young players, when we only won 16 games in the season, when Kobe farewell tour, like I was still excited because it's Laker basketball. But I understand that there is some serious concerns, and we can definitely discuss them. It is Phone Call Friday, so make sure you guys do tap in for that. But yeah, prime drink, bro. Again, the prime drink was just super disgusting. All right, let's talk about this next trade because this one right here, guys, wow. This one right here would have been this, like, just as a Laker fan, my heart drops when I read these things. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2007 when Kobe had requested a trade. He also had the no trade clause. So Kobe Bryant almost became a Detroit Piston? Yes, that is real. That is legit. The Pistons would have received Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers would have received Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and from what I heard, 1 to 2 first-round picks max. I don't know about you guys, but I would have went absolutely bonkers if my front office would have traded a generational talent like Kobe Bryant, one of the best to ever grace the hardwood, for role players, system players at that, and Richard Hamilton and Tayshaun Prince. That would have made me sick to my stomach, fam. Absolutely freaking sick. And here's the thing, right? Kobe Bryant had the no trade clause, thank God, right? Apparently, Detroit wasn't high on his wish list. It says legendary Lakers owner Jerry Buss also reportedly convinced Kobe Bryant that LA was still the place to be. Had Kobe Bryant signed off on this trade, he would have formed a new big three with Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, two of the main guys who upset Shaq and Peyton Malone era, it says here in the article. It says the Lakers, meanwhile, would have fielded a team headlined by Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Lamar Odom, and Andrew Bynum and Derek Fisher. Yuck. Disgusting work right there, man. I'm so happy, bro. I'm so happy that it did not go through. Like, I'm ecstatic that that didn't happen. Shout out to the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss and Kobe Bryant for coming to that agreement and taking that off the books, man. And I'm gonna be taking calls in between these. Again, this is gonna be a pretty lengthy episode here because we got a lot of trades that never happened to discuss. But can you imagine what history would have been had that trade went down and Kobe would have been a Piston? Hey, what's up, Katrina? Good to see you. That would have been insane. I'm glad Woj never reported on that one. And and we had a happily ever after by winning multiple championships after that. So again, it could have went either way. Let me go ahead and bring in my first guest, man. James. CJ, what's up, brother?
What's up, fam?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. You know how it is. Maxing and relaxing. You know how it is.
Absolutely, man. Well, this is a new concept I dropped for this phone call Friday, man. What do you think so far?
Well, man, talking about trades, it's funny that you brought up that Charles Barkley trade. That for guys that don't know and guys that aren't historians of the game, literally that is the real reason why Charles Barkley absolutely hates the Lakers, because he feels that, the Lakers were the ones that backed out. But like you said, it was actually the Sixers that were the ones that backed out of the whole deal. The Lakers were willing to trade James Worthy, one of the pillars of the Showtime Lakers, to get Charles Barkley. That would have helped usher in a new era in the 90s. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, that was right before Magic Johnson retired too. So he probably would have been even playing with Magic Johnson before Magic Johnson ended up retiring too. So that would have been something very profound and all that stuff. And maybe Charles might have a ring, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Charles isn't a Laker player anyway, so I'm glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, bro, that is insane. Like, the amount of trades I'm about to bring in this video, bro, is going to blow people's minds because there's so many trades that could have happened that would have changed the landscape of the NBA and didn't. And also trades that should have happened. Chris Paul, we're going to get into that later.
Yeah, you got to cough when you say that, bro.
Yeah. Well, trades that should have happened and didn't happen as well. We're going to break those down as well, man. Well, what do you think of Kobe Bryant to the Pistons? That almost happened in 2007, bro. And thank God Kobe had a no-trade clause because, again, and Jerry Buss was able to, convince Bryant to stay. But can you imagine if the Lakers would have traded for Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince? That's not a good look.
No, bro. I really don't want to think of that. That's a repulsing thing to think of. And thank God that Kobe was married to Vanessa, because if you remember on the Legacy documentary, she was the one that made sure she got with Rob Pelinka and made sure that he had that no trade clause on his contract. So everybody needed to thank their lucky stars for the fact that Kobe was married to Vanessa, because she's the one that made sure that no trade clause was there. Because Kobe was serious about leaving the Lakers around that time because Mitch Kupchak was playing around like he normally does before he got cut. But it's a good thing that he waited the way he did, because we ended up getting Pau Gasol just a little bit later. So yeah,
I'm a firm believer of everything happened for a reason, bro. And this was one of those trades. But before I let you go, I want to bring another trade to your attention that was a little ridiculous and actually almost happened. And this one Kobe did want to happen. All right. And that is Mr. Bean Bryant going to the Chicago Bulls, fam. That almost happened as well in 2007. This was the do something and do it now year where Kobe felt like he had Kwame and Bynum was too young and Lamar was good, but he wasn't championship elevate second option good, So apparently there was a trade proposal that was just as bad as the first one I mentioned, and that was the Lakers receiving Luol Deng, who at the time was only 21, if I do recall, Tyrese Thomas, who was a lottery pick, Ben Gordon, who was really good, Joakim Noah, right, for Kobe Bryant, bro. Can you imagine, bro? Again, none of the players we have mentioned have ever been anything other than role players throughout their career. But this apparently it was reported at the time the Lakers demanded Luol Deng, Tyrese Thomas, Ben Gordon, and Joakim Noah to make the trade, but Kobe insisted that Deng remain with Chicago, and with the two sides unable to agree on specifics on the deal, it ultimately fell apart. I remember waking up that day, listening to the radio, man, and hearing that Kobe Bryant was on the verge of being dealt to the Bulls. My heart dropped to my stomach. Do you remember that?
Uh, I was about 9 years old at that time, so I don't really. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
So, but to mention once again to mention that what from watching the Legacy documentary, which people need to watch. If you haven't, if you're part of Laker Nation, you need to watch that documentary. It's a 10-part documentary, and you learn a whole lot about Laker Nation. But
Right.
but that trade was literally to prove a point to the Kobe,
Mm.
because Mitch Kupchak talked about how they didn't give them everything that they wanted for Kobe, but they got close.
Right.
But that was basically to prove the point to Kobe. Like Kobe basically said, it wouldn't be any better than me being in LA. He said that's the point. Like
Yeah.
if you just be patient, you'll be able to we'll be able to help you out and all stuff because he wanted Jason Kidd and then of course Kevin Garnett as well. He was supposed to come to. That's probably on the list too. Kevin Garnett was supposed to be on the Lakers, but Kobe missed some calls. But that was literally just to prove a point, bro. So we'll see.
These things didn't happen, bro. And so many, again, tectonic plate shifting trades were on the cusp and on the verge, and it was little minor details sometimes like these. Thank God the Lakers put their foot down, then demanded Lil Deng, and the Bulls were dumb enough to not include him because that would have been our demise if we would have, basically gave up Kobe Bryant again, legendary Hall of Fame, once in a generational talent for a bunch of role players, man. That's insane. And it just shows me how they always try to fleece the Lakers historically. You know what I'm saying? Like we really weren't getting like 50 draft picks like we should have if that was even on the table, right? So
and bro, and I get you before I get off, bro. That's kind of thing even now. Like Laker Nation, if people here are new and they're wondering why the Lakers now, I'm not giving an excuse to Rob. He should have done something this offseason. We're not going to even say that shouldn't happen. But that's the Laker Nation. For guys that are new here, they always try to fleece us to make them sure that they get better, while they give players for pennies on the dollar to other teams. So why do you think the Celtics got as good as they did? They literally got Kristaps Porzingis for a bag of chips. They got what's his name? Derek White for like some Skittles, and like just that's what happens. We're the Lakers for a reason. We're the most winningest franchise of all time. I don't care if the Celtics have one more championship than we do. We're going to catch up to them. We're going to be fine. So.
Absolutely, bro. And it's crazy how these things worked out. But it worked out for us in the end, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Any final thoughts on this upcoming season, man? Anything you want to discuss?
Hey, bro, I'm just gearing up. I can't wait for the season, man. It's like it's motivating me, on outside of just Lakers and all that stuff, just me getting myself together personally. I can't wait for the season, do some work and all that stuff, be with you guys on playback with the guys. Shout out to all the guys that's been on the panel. Every single one of the guys, family members and all that stuff, my brothers. And can't wait for this season. Go Lakers.
All right, my brother. Thanks for the call. I appreciate you as always, man.
All right, big bro. I'm going to talk to you soon. I got you, bro.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Before I take our next caller, man, and I'll be dropping the link. If you guys want to talk anything Lakers or just NBA related, it is your time. It is Phone Call Fridays. Nothing is off topic. All right, but let's get back into these trades. There's another one, and this one's going to irritate some of us because we still remember the day it happened. And I'm gonna prove to you that this shit is rigged against us, man. Because look, check this out. In 2011, the Lakers had landed Chris Paul for a trade that involved Kevin Martin. It was a 3-team deal between the Rockets, the Hornets, and the Lakers. So Kevin Martin would have went to the Hornets. Luis Scola, Lamar Odom, Goran Dragic, a first-round pick. They would have got all of that for Chris Paul. The Rockets would have received Pau Gasol. So the Lakers would have essentially kept a big three of Bynum, Kobe Bryant, and Chris Paul, with the rumor that Bynum was still going to get dealt for Dwight. Now, this trade really pisses me off for multiple reasons. If you accompany me over here to this other page I did my research on, the trade that actually went down for Chris Paul was one where the Hornets traded for Lamar, Luis Scola, Kevin Martin, Goran Dragic, and a first-round pick. Right? And the trade they actually ended up getting was a lot worse, fam, from the Clippers. A lot worse. If I find it, I will share. I thought that was it. If I find it, I will share it with you guys. But I'm telling you right now, man, I'm still irate about this trade because I still think Kobe Bryant would have, his career would have been insane if he would have had an elite point guard. And no disrespect to Fisher, because Fisher's a beast. He's a champion. He's one of the clutchest point guards that the Lakers ever had. But can you imagine Chris Paul in his prime? By the way, at this time, Chris Paul was averaging 15.9 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists, shooting 46% from the field and 38% from beyond the arc. Kobe had never played with an elite guard of that magnitude, and it's a damn shame that never came to fruition. Like, I'm sick to my stomach about that. And, that was one of the worst trade blockings in history. Okay, I found it. This was the actual trade that ended up going down, and you tell me which one was better, fam. You really tell me which one's better. The actual trade was the Pelicans successfully traded Chris Paul to the Crosstown Clippers for Eric Gordon, absolute trash, Chris Kaman, mega trash, Al Farouk Aminu, who at the time was a decent prospect, and the number 10 pick that would later become Austin Rivers. Are you kidding me? They had Kevin Martin, who had been an all-star. They had Lamar Odom, who had been an all-star. Our trade package was so much better than this. It's not even funny. They would have received Goran Dragic, Odom, Luis Scola, Lamar Odom, and Kevin Martin, and a first-round pick. And look what they ended up with. Slim pickings. And that is what really irritates me about basketball reasons. It's not the fact that we couldn't get the trade through and people will say, oh, well, basketball reasons, blah, blah, blah. You guys would have fleeced and saved a bunch of cap space. It's the fact that they ended up getting the worst trade, all to avoid trading with the Lakers. And that is an issue that I have that I think is extremely common in the NBA. Extremely common. And you hate to see it, man, because you would think it would be an even playing field for everybody making trades, but there's always a Laker tax. I've always seen it throughout my life, through my childhood, through my teenage years, and even now in my adulthood. I still see that other teams can make moves like this. Meanwhile, the Lakers, they get hung up on what, right? All right, I want to bring in my next guest on Phone Call Fridays, man. He was waiting patiently. My good friend Darius Ford. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
How you feeling about these trades that never materialized so far, man?
I already knew about the CP3 one, like, because you've mentioned it before, how the Lakers got vetoed from that trade. But
well, I got a question for you, because I got actually 2 trades that never materialized for the Warriors. All right, since that's your squad, and I want to pop it up here. And I want to get your commentary on it, man, since you're live. It's kind of perfect timing.
I'm so glad that did not happen.
In 2012, bro, James Harden almost became a Warrior for Klay Thompson. Isn't that crazy?
That didn't happen.
Do you know how many championships you potentially might have missed out on if this would have happened? What is your guess? Curry currently right now has 4. He's tied with LeBron with 4. How many championships do you think Curry would have had James Harden been a Warrior? I'm curious, your opinion.
Now the question is this: it would have been this. What if Kevin Durant did not go to the Warriors?
No, I know. That would have definitely. Let me tell you something. If Kevin Durant didn't go to the Warriors, that would have been obviously. I think Curry would have ended up with 2 or 3 championships max. But this is the trade video. So I want to ask you, like, how many do you think if James Harden would have went there, ruined the chemistry, got his numbers, and didn't buy into the system like he didn't in Brooklyn, like he didn't in Philly, like he really didn't in with the Clippers?
Still not technically.
I do wonder how many championships you guys would have missed out on, because Klay in his prime was a good two-way player. He was a defensive player, and he was an offensive player as well. He fit in perfectly in that system with the running and gunning and all of that. This guy here would have been a ball hog, man, who would have held on to the ball, got his stats. That would have been insane. And the reason this trade didn't happen, because you guys had the very educated Jerry West, who, by the way, now that you're here, I'll bring in this next trade that didn't happen for the Warriors in 2014. That would have been insane. Kevin Love to Golden State in 2014. Warriors received Kevin Love and Kevin Martin. Timberwolves received Klay Thompson and David Lee. Wow. And by the way, these were Kevin Love's prime years. This is when he was dropping
Yeah, like I remember Kevin Love, like on the Cavs when he was hooping with LeBron.
Yeah, I remember that too. And that year he was injured all the time. He was injured, my brother, and it's unfortunate for him. But I
That was
just
dirty play by Kelly Olynyk when he was in Boston.
look what it says here. It says Jerry West put a stop to trade talks when he threatened to resign from advising role with the Warriors if they went ahead with the deal. That's how much of a genius Jerry West was. An absolute genius, man. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Like he was just, man, Jerry West, you guys were really blessed. I believe he was the conductor of all your championships, to be honest with you. Like even after he left, he just had the foundation already there. Right. And I got one more for you before you go, bro. One more for you, and it's Warrior related. So yeah, I'll share this tab with you, man. I did my research on this one because I figured you would tap in. It says here, Kerr, as a general manager of the Phoenix Suns at the time, attempted and almost succeeded in trading for Curry during the 2009 NBA draft to the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Suns had the 14th pick, and they anticipated the Warriors were selected at number 9 overall as a part of the deal before trading the draft rights to Phoenix. The Warriors then nixed the deal and held on to Curry. Right? So it says here, GM Steve Kerr. At the time, ironically, Steve Kerr was the GM of the Phoenix Suns from 2007 to 2010. It says, we were looking at Steph and seeing Steve Nash, the next version. So they almost, bro, you almost were about to be a Phoenix Suns fan. How does that feel, bro?
The question would have been this.
Huh?
Oh, damn, you would have despised me even more nowadays because I would have been like, oh, yeah, Booker is the next Kobe and whatnot. You would have really hated my guts.
Nah, I wouldn't have hated you, bro. Hate is a strong word. We would have disagreed, but hate is a strong word. But isn't that crazy how some of these trades would have been so altering and so game-changing, and they just didn't happen, right?
Right. But you know what? I'm so glad that the Harden thing didn't happen because he's just a curse wherever you go. Like, wherever team he goes to, he's a curse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, and well, Harden's on a cursed team.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get your reaction on these because I know you're a big Warriors fan, bro. I do appreciate you, Darius, for tapping in, my brother. Thank you again so much, man. Have a wonderful weekend, all right? My brother, man. Hey, listen, I thought it was ironic he popped up because I had those trades. Yeah, that one would have been insane personally. I got my guy D-Free here in the chat. Anybody want to tap in, guys? The link is in the comment section. Phone call Fridays, man. Yeah, we're doing trades that never materialized, you know, in celebration of the great Wojnarowski for the service he put in, man. I'm pretty much bringing up the trades that he didn't have to announce. All right, so again, the league could have been very different if a lot of these had materialized. Thank God they did not. Minus the Chris Paul one, that one should have materialized. But let's see. I'll read a couple comments. My guy MJ said, or Marisol said, MJ never proved he could win without Scottie Pippen. And the Big Chief Triangle, LeBron has proven he has with any player and coach in a different system. I will say that. I will give LeBron that. LeBron has proven that he could be a mercenary and win and be the primary focal point of any offense. And, you know, there was a lot of criticism when he chose the Lakers, wondering if he would fit in or if he was just here to make movies. He fit in. He won a championship here. He won a championship in Miami, and he won one in Cleveland. And the rumors right now are rampant about LeBron James in the end of his career. So we'll see what happens there. But that's a good point, Marisol. And, you know, but some people actually take that against him, believe it or not, and say, well, he had to leave. He ran from the grind, all of that. So there's always going to be two sides to every coin flip. But one thing we can always appreciate is greatness. I don't want to take nothing away from Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron. They were all just not only franchise-changing players, but they were generational talents that we're never going to see again. So let's enjoy them while they're here. That's all I will say. And let's continue this video. D-Free says, I understand being annoyed because of how it affected Kobe, but I don't see any reason to be upset about the trade in general. It wasn't about what was better. The NBA owned the Hornets and simply did not want him to go to the Lakers because he was going to play with Kobe, and other owners were upset about that. It is what it is, but the main thing is that trade can't be vetoed. That trades can't be vetoed. It didn't sit right with me still, D-Free, and I would love to have that conversation if you ever wanted to tap in, but it doesn't sit right with me because imagine all the owners complained when Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. Owners complained when LeBron went to the Miami Heat. You know, owners are going to complain, but that's not a good reason. Basketball reasons isn't a good reason to prevent a trade that had been agreed upon by two front offices, right? It just so happened that the time that this trade was agreed upon, the league was there and just so happened to prevent the trade, but it just wasn't right. It doesn't look right for the league to do that. The league is just supposed to be there to serve the owners, but to do it in a fair, equality for all. This wasn't equality for all. This was unfair to the Lakers. And matter of fact, they ended up getting a worse deal with the Clippers. Again, I just mentioned the deals. It was a far worse deal with the Clippers than it was with the Lakers. With the Lakers, they would have had Lamar. They would have had Luis Scola, Kevin Martin, Goran Dragic in a first-round pick. With the Clippers, they got what? Basura, bro. They got absolute trash. And let me see if I find it again. I might have clicked it away already. But, yeah, they got Al-Farouq Aminu was their best piece they got in the Clipper package. Think about that. That's not acceptable, my guy. He said, except for it being a scenario like that, so it'll happen. So that'll never happen again. And that's the worst part. The worst part is that it cannot be replicated ever again. All right. Well, let's move on to the next trade that could have changed the course of franchise history. And that was Kevin Garnett. Not Kevin Garnett, Kevin Garnett. Because it was not to be. Timberwolves would have received Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom, and additional pieces, and the Lakers would have received Kevin Garnett. It says the Lakers also came astonishingly close to landing Garnett during the same offseason. It says Phil Jackson had been on the record saying LA had a handshake agreement with KG with the trade centered around a 19-year-old Andrew Bynum and Lamar Odom. Instead, Garnett went to Boston, and I don't want to read the rest of the sentence. That one hurt me a lot because at the time I was a huge Kevin Garnett fan, and I thought him and Kobe would have been just a phenomenal pairing. But again, it was not to be. I believe the rumor says Kobe Bryant didn't answer KG's call, and KG never fully invested himself to that deal. But damn, can y'all imagine KG and Kobe Bryant? If Gasol and Kobe won 2 championships, how many do you guys think KG and Kobe Bryant would have won? Because KG was a little bit of a tougher player, and he was really skilled, and he was still at the end of his prime by the time he left Minnesota. He gave too much to that city, and I hope Ant-Man doesn't do that. I hope Ant-Man leaves before it's too late. But, KG gave too much to that city. He was the big ticket. You know why that was his nickname? Because he was just selling wolf tickets, pun intended. Meaning they never really built a formidable, true contender. The team with Latrell Sprewell and Sam Cassell was good, but he never had a legit superstar alongside him. The closest thing to that was Stephon Marbury, when they were both young and on the same team. But, man, he never had that legit second superstar to go with him when he was with the T-Wolves, and they just wasted away their prime, which is the same problem they might have with Ant-Man right now currently. They got Cat. We all know about that pussycat. They got Rudy Gobert, who I think they should flip both if I was them. Start Naz Reid and go in a different direction. Try to get a true second star to go with Ant, because otherwise you're going to suffer the same fate they did. So that's unfortunate. All right, let's bring my good brother, Just B Channel. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Yo. What's up, brother? How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Just reminiscing. I figured, 2 weeks before the season starts, the preseason, let's reminisce on some of these past trades that never materialized. I got the craziest one. I'm saving it till the end. But what do you think so far, man?
Bro, you making me feel old, bro. Like I'm walking down memory lane. I remember most of these when they were going on, like the day that they were happening, or didn't happen, I should say. I think the one that sticks out the most to me, like you said, is probably that Chris Paul one, bro. That still hurts.
That Chris Paul one is disgusting, man. I'm never going to forget the league for that. And I'm never going to forgive them, because I don't think Kobe's Achilles tear happens if the Chris Paul trade happens, because a lot of the ball handling and pressure would have been off Kobe. He would have been off ball more, and he could have just attacked. Kobe was a mastermind, and he could have used his angles and played in spurts to prolong his career, Right. And Commissioner robbed him of that, and robbed all of us Laker fans of seeing potentially one of the greatest backcourts to ever grace the hardwood.
Yes, I agree, because I don't think that the reasoning never made sense, still never makes sense to this day. like the trade was approved and good to go, and then next thing you know, they went ahead and took it away from us. You know,
it hurt.
like wow, like come on now. You know what could have been though, man. You know, before he got corrupted mentally by the flippers. You know.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's back when I actually liked him back then, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's just so many things, man. But it's fun to speculate and to see what could have been. You know, another trade people don't really talk about, man. To be honest, I didn't really know much about this one. At least I hadn't heard much about it until I read this article. But Steph Curry almost was a Milwaukee Buck. What? What? Yeah, it says here that Steph Curry to the Bucks almost happened in 2009, 2012. It says concern that Curry's famously fickle ankles would eventually betray him for good. The Warriors once considered trading their future golden child to Milwaukee in exchange for Andrew Bogut, bro.
At the time, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember because even though I'm a lifelong Laker fan, I've grown up in the Bay, man. So like, I remember going the last Warrior game I went to. I promise you, it was probably like when they still had Monte Ellis, and I think Curry was there. Like it was probably like his rookie season one. And I remember the tickets were like $15 at that game, man. I was sitting right there, damn near courtside, bro. This is before the championships and all the hype. So it's like it's crazy to see. Yeah, they you know, because he wasn't getting that much PT time at that time. You know, he was injured. He was awfully injured a lot. And,
right.
And that's crazy to see. If they would have sent him over to Milwaukee, that would have been crazy.
For Andrew Bogut, they would have been kicking themselves in the head. And check this out. It says here that the trade never went ahead because the Bucks medical staff didn't think Curry's ankles would hold up.
Wow. Well, Bogut wasn't healthy himself even at that time because he was the number 1 overall pick, if I remember right.
Yeah. The Warriors ended up acquiring Bogut a few months later anyways without giving up Curry. That's the crazy part, bro. Wow. You see, some people are just not good at their jobs, man, and it shows. It just shows. And that I know they were hurt. I know the Bucks were hurt because that I don't know. Right. I don't know if Giannis still happens. I think when did Giannis get drafted? 2010. It might have still happened. You might have had Curry and Giannis on the same team. But
yep, you can see that happening.
But it's insane, right? It's insane how some of these trades never materials. Thank God they didn't, because man, that would have been a scary sight to see, my brother. Like, can you imagine the Bucks with Curry, potentially Giannis as well?
Yeah, that would have been crazy. I know that the one with KG that you were talking about, I didn't hear about that one until probably earlier this year.
Yeah,
which is crazy to me, you know, to know that could have happened when it went down. I think I heard KG say it on one of his interviews or something like that it almost went down, and you know, that would have been wild, man, because I was a huge KG fan too, you know, and I remember that series that we played against Minnesota back then. And, you know, we took them out, and, you know, it was either us or them. So we had to take them out. And, you know, KG would have went to us. That would have been wild, man.
And let me ask you one final question before I let you go, brother.
Yes, sir.
What trade do you think would have got us further if it would have went through the KG one for Lamar Odom and Bynum, or the Chris Paul one for Lamar Odom and Gasol? Which one do you think would have got Kobe Bryant more championships?
Probably that Chris Paul one. I think just, you know, Chris Paul, because even though he's a douche now or whatever, his mind is still sharp. And even then, he had a very crazy mind, you know, like watching him at Wake Forest. And then when he came out to New Orleans, you know, I was a Chris Paul fan, like I said, before he became a flipper. And
me too.
You know, he definitely would have prolonged Kobe's career and added a couple more championships, I believe, you know.
People tell me not to be hurt about that one because they were in the right to veto the trade, but I'm still hurt, man, no matter what people say, bro. But hey, man, hey, hopefully we have a fun Lakers season this year, man. Thanks for tapping in, my guy. Appreciate you.
Always. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna talk to you later.
All right, brother. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.
Same, bro. Take care.
All right. I've been waiting for my next guest, man. I figured I could bait him to coming on here, man. My good friend D Free. What's up, D Free?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Pretty good. And yourself?
Doing good. My bad, no cam. I'm outside getting some raking done before I go to bed, so it was too dark.
No, you're good, my brother. No explanation needed. What do you think so far, man? I definitely want to hear your thoughts on all these coulda, shoulda, woulda trades that Woj did.
No, to be honest, the first one I heard was the one that I had commented on. I tuned in a little bit late.
Yeah.
But I do think that that Bucks one is pretty crazy. Like, that would have been insane if that actually went through.
Bro, I never even knew, to be honest. I'm just finding out about that right now. Probably because
I legit found out the other day about it, like literally this week.
That's insane, right? Like, Bogut for Curry, bro, and it didn't happen because the medical staff member thought Curry's ankles would fall apart. That is insane, bro.
Yeah, but at the time, like, the talk about it was legit. Like, he couldn't stay healthy. It was really seriously a talking point, and they even got their hands on him and they looked at him and they were like, "Nah, this isn't good." So he's actually pretty lucky that he turned things around shortly after that.
Right? Like,
especially to have the career he did.
Man.
Or has so far.
Let me bring up a trade for you. Because I think, so you've been following LeBron his whole career. What'd you think of this one? This one didn't really fall through either, but Paul George and Carmelo almost teamed up with LeBron in Cleveland, man. Almost.
When, 2018?
2018. It says,
yeah.
Cavaliers had a big deal with Paul George, Carmelo. Wow. What do you think? That would have been insane. Look at Paul George still, in his prime. Carmelo was a little bit, exiting his prime, but he was still a 16-point per game scorer. Do you think that right there could have done damage?
I mean, it would have been kind of clunky. Maybe not. I mean, you got a lot of dudes that. I mean, you could have put PG at the 2. LeBron and Melo would have been the 3-4. I think they would have did good. Was that the Kyrie trade?
Yes.
Okay.
They almost
because
George, and then they would have then traded for Carmelo. That happened.
The thing that happened was that's why Kyrie wanted to trade in the first place, because they were talking about that Paul George trade in the first place. Yeah. Kyrie got wind of it and was like, "Nope, just trade me. I don't care." And then I believe he said, "If you don't trade me, I'm going to get surgery too." So then they flipped him, and that's when they got IT, who was coming off of that injury and then that near MVP season. So it was a really weird time. But like Kyrie basically got butthurt because they were talking about trading him, just potential, like his name. He just heard his name was out there. But the thing about that season is I don't think that's enough to. That 2018 season was the Durant season where LeBron made it all the way to the finals his last year in Cleveland. So like, I don't know. Yeah. Well, no, that would have been 2017, right?
Yeah, 2017, 2018, I believe.
17, 18? Okay. Yeah, because Kyrie was on the 2017 finals. Okay.
Yep.
So, that would have been I don't know if it would have went crazy to win a championship, though, because I was still Durant. So, But that would have been nice. But it would have been kind of, I don't know if it would have changed the trajectory of LeBron coming to LA, though, because he came that off season.
Oh, so basically, this is what it would have been. I found the actual trade here on Reddit. It says it would have been a 5-team trade in 2017 that would have resulted in Bledsoe, Paul George, Carmelo, and Cleveland. So y'all would have got Eric Bledsoe, who LeBron was very fond of at the time. Right?
Yeah, that was mini LeBron.
Yeah, I remember. And, Kyrie and Kevin Love would have been going outwards, and Melo, G, would have been in the deal coming to the Cavs. So that's pretty insane, right? That would have been, I think, man. A lot of these trades that didn't happen are just eye-opening, though. Like that league would have been different if some of these would have went through.
I actually don't know if they get much better, though. That's the thing, is I don't know how much better they get versus like if they would have just kept Kyrie, because that season they lost Kyrie and still went all the way to the damn finals.
True.
I don't know how much better they would have got.
Very true, man. And it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, the biggest one, and I was going to save it to the end, but I want to bring it to your attention because I have you on the line. And that is the fact that T Mac, and a lot of people might not know this, Dick McGrady almost became a Laker in 1997. That was the draft after Kobe got drafted. Apparently, he worked out for the Lakers, and they were infatuated with his work up to the point where they considered trading the Raptors for that pick and pairing up Kobe Bryant, Shaq, and T Mac, bro. So, how many championships do you think they would have?
Oh man, I think it's really easy to say they'd win more than 3. My thing is I don't know if egos get in the way there, because Shaq and all that. Like, I don't know. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they stick together.
T-Mac said he would have loved to play the Scottie Pippen role, but when you're young, it's different, you know?
Yeah. That's my thing, is I don't know, like, if egos get in the way there. But I'll shoot the gap and I'll say they win one more. But they would have had a lot more chances to win than they would have otherwise. Especially in those Kobe development years, right? But I feel like it's easy to say they'd win a bunch, though, because it just looks like they should. But, that's not how things always play out.
Absolutely, man. It's just food for thought for me, because I'm like, that also stunt Kobe's development.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of different things that could happen there.
Right. So it's bro. Speculate and think. That's why I wanted to bring this forward before we get into all the madness and crazy. Now, let me ask you, bro, what do you think of the Lakers this season? Now that we got you here.
I mean, they're largely the same. I think that if they get off to a good start, they'll be all right. I mean, the underrated thing about last year was they got off to a good start and ended extremely well. They only lost last year because they went on that stupid slide after the in-season tournament. That's the only reason why. So that tells you that there's some stuff there that they could work with. And if JJ doesn't panic when they have a little bit of a losing streak, because it's going to happen, obviously, a few times during the season. If JJ doesn't panic, they'll be all right, because that's what happened in that stretch. Is they went on that slide where they went 3-10 or whatever, and Darvin started panicking and flipping in and out players. He had Reeves and D'Lo both on the bench at one time. He was just doing the most. So, like, that's what happened. So I think that the team is good, but I don't see them having the ceiling of being a contender. I think they still need to make a move, unless they get extremely lucky, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing about them. But I do like the roster still. I liked it last year.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I like the roster. I think there's a lot of things to be excited about. But you're right. I do feel like we're still a move or two away from really feeling great about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So I agree, man. And hopefully it does happen. We'll have a lot of content to talk about, man. Very excited, man. I can't wait to have you. I appreciate it, my guy.
Yeah, sure thing. When are you gonna start running that back again?
I'm gonna do it.
You gonna wait till the season starts?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it the first week of preseason. Now we got to talk about it. So I'll probably do it right before preseason, like that week. Like the Thursday before the Friday we play.
For sure. Then definitely I'll be on, man.
Yeah, I know you're busy now. My guy's over there on Lakers Nation, man. Hey, you're a natural, my guy. Good job.
Thanks. It's actually, the thing about that is it's actually not fully official yet. It's almost like an audition type deal.
Yeah.
But Trevor and I do have the basketball bulletin where we're publishing other NBA content too. So I'm kind of all over right now.
You're doing your thing. Congratulations. I look forward to full coverage for you guys over there this season, man.
Yeah, sure thing, man. Thank you.
All right, my brother. We'll talk real soon, all right? Take it easy.
All right, bro. You too.
All right, my guy.
All right, bye.
My guy D Free, man, working hard on both online and offline. Raking the leaves there. Yeah, guys, this has been an insane episode simply because there's so many more trades we could talk about. As a matter of fact, I will bring back a couple that I had exited out on, but I'll answer a couple of your guys' questions here. I'll make you guys think I'm ignoring you guys just because we had a great guest on. A great couple of guests, by the way. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Bogut for Curry almost happening. That is just next level crazy. That's next level insane. Jeremy, I'm doing good, man. How you doing, my guy? Good to see you. Let's see. It says Lakers need to get a point guard like Derrick Rose and shooting Zach LaVine. Oh my goodness. I would have absolutely loved to get a prime Derrick Rose, but for now, I just don't think, you know what, Yaki, I don't think D Rose has too much left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? Where I could say, okay, let's go ahead and get this deal done. For a D Rose or even just to sign him. So we already have a couple of veteran point guards we need to get healthy, and to get another one that's been injury prone, I'm just not too sure about that one. But again, I saved the best for last. It was the T-Mac one, guys. Lakers almost had Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Tracy McGrady. Don't believe me? Look up the podcast. All right, it was on. What was the show? The one that used to have Rachel Nichols and T-Mac. They basically said it there, and Jerry West is an absolute genius. Okay, Jerry West wanted us to trade for Tracy McGrady because they were even more so impressed with T-Mac's workout, even more than Kobe Bryant's workout, according to the report. So that's insane in itself. So Jerry West having a great eye that he's always had. He had his hand in the Warriors dynasty. He had his hand in some of the draft picks for the Memphis Grizzlies, some of the trades like trading for Zebo. He had his hand in a lot of stuff. Man, he could have built an absolute monstrous team. And when I say monstrous, I mean monstrous with T-Mac, man. I would have loved that one. Final trade. Let's see. I think I missed one here. OKC almost got Tyson Chandler from New Orleans, but the trade fell through because he failed the physical. I do remember this one. And the crazy thing is Chandler going to OKC would have prevented him helping the Mavs in 2011. So that would have been nuts. And he would have been a better upgrade than Perkins was when OKC still had Harden, KD on one of their final runs, right? So, yeah, again, some of these trades would have been game changers, absolute game changers. And there's plenty more. Maybe we'll do a part 2 to this really soon here. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and do the Prize Picks entries. I know some of you guys have been waiting for those. So let me go ahead and do the Prize Picks entry for Sunday Night Football. I think we still qualify for Flex Friday. I'm not sure. But don't quote me on that, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me fix my mouse here. There you go. All right. Let's pull it up here. For those of you who've been waiting patiently, man, going to enter my picks right now. I do believe they have a free one right now. A free entry or a free pick. So we'll go with that one. All right. Pull it up here, man. If those of you that haven't done Prize Picks, I got a promo code for you guys as well, man. Do appreciate you guys for waiting so patiently. Promo code is in the top left corner. There it is. All right. So let's go ahead and submit our entry. I'm only going to do one pick or one entry, should I say. And let's start again with the Caleb Williams. All he needs is 1 yard. That's a guaranteed free pick right there. Light work. Let's see. Who else? You can't combine too many of these, though. So just keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and let's see. Passing yards. I'm going to go. Let's see. Where they got my guy Matthew Stafford at? Lamar Jackson, 219 passing yards. What did he do last week? He's been getting it. He's been getting it. So you know what? He's going up against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go more passing yards for my guy Lamar Jackson. Matthew Stafford. All right. He had a bad game last week. He usually bounces back, has a great game the next week. So 216 shouldn't be too tough. I know we got a lot of injuries, but Matthew Stafford is great. As long as he doesn't get hurt, he should be able to get it. All right. So far, you should have 3 guaranteed picks right here. Let's see who else. All right. Goff has been balling. Goff been balling lately, but I don't really, he's a golf ball. Can't really count on him. Let's look at a different category. Let's go rushing yards. All right, rushing yards. No. Receiving. Let's see what's trending right now. How about that? My guy KJ Dobbs, 55. Dang, he's been killing it, hasn't he? All right, we're gonna go ahead and take him because he's been on a hot streak. Absolutely started this season on a tear. So yeah. All right, we're going to pick him up right there. Who else are we picking up here? Alvin Kamara? How's he been looking? He's a beast. He's going up against Philly, the Eagles. I don't like to go over 60 when it comes to rushing yards. I just don't. Let's see who else. Justin Jefferson? How about Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray rushing yards. He ran all over us, but our secondary was tripping, fam. Tripping. He's going up against the Detroit Lions. They got a much better defense. I'm not too sure about that pick. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Let's see. Let's go back to. Okay, there you go. All right, let's look at Derrick Henry has been cooking. Absolutely cooking. Well, actually, the first game he wasn't so great. The second game, much better. CJ Stroud. All right. You know what? How many picks I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Power play. Let's get the 4 correct. Let's play the $7. we would get $70 if these 4 things happen. I'm gonna go with you know what? I'm gonna go with surefire bet. I'm gonna go with the power play right there. Although I think in order to get your money back if you fail, you got to pick up a couple more players, if I'm not mistaken. So you know what? I'm gonna again, Kyler Murray. They're gonna bring the rush. There you go. See, now we qualify for the Flex Friday promotion. And there it is. What else I need? What else I need though? I'm gonna go with Derrick Henry. I'm gonna trust him this week against Dallas. See if he gets more than that amount of yards. That would get us $175. And also make sure if you guys are doing the Flex Friday, make sure to click it in. All right. Make sure you guys opt in under the promotions and click it in. So these are my 6 picks. Caleb Williams guaranteed. All you need is 1 yard. Lamar Jackson almost guaranteed. I think Matthew Stafford will have a big game. He, when he's got his back to the wall, he's a big time player. KJ Dobbs been killing it. Kyler Murray been killing it with the rushing yards. And Derrick Henry, man. If we get all of those, we land all of those, $175. So make sure you guys tap in again. Promo code DTLF gets you guys $50 with your first $10 deposit. Yeah, make sure you guys do that. Wait, what happened here? It says what? Who couldn't I add? Got a promo. Wait. I got to see why it didn't let me go in. More than 1 discounted projection. What's the discounted projection? I do have 1 discounted projection. That's him. Right? Okay, they're bugging out. So maybe it's the same teammate. Maybe we'll take him off and we'll do Patrick Mahomes. He's going up against the Atlanta. All right, I think he'll have a bounce back game against Atlanta. So I'm going to pick him up. Let's see. There you go. Now we got our lineup. We're good to go, fam. And I want to thank you guys, man, so much for tapping in this week, guys. Another fun episode. If you guys are watching this later on tonight or tomorrow, make sure to hit the like button. If you guys are live, I truly appreciate it, guys. Lots of content coming. Stay tuned. I had a lot of fun with you guys here on Phone Call Friday. Thanks for everybody for calling and everybody who subscribed and hasn't subscribed. I do appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys will subscribe tonight. All right. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Peace out.